Hello there. So I discovered recently that I work at Kroger, and one of the people who works there is not only a Trump supporter but also a QAnon um adherent. And this is just rumors, but rumor has it around work that he was at January 6th. I'm gonna name names because I'm not a rat, but just saying. So I thought, why don't we go with some of the claims that they have made, all of whom proven to be false. Uh, QAnon's first post on 4chan in 2017 says that Hillary Clinton would be arrested. Quote, HRC extradition already in motion effective yesterday with several countries in case of cross-border run. Really? He's got all the money in the world. Passport approved to be flagged effective 10:30 at 12:01 a.m. Effective massive riots organized in defiance and others fleeing the border to occur. USM U.S. military, U.S. United States Marshals will conduct the operation while National Guard activated. Uh, Proof check: locate a National Guard and ask if activated for duty. 10:30 across most major cities. The claim was made October 28th, 2017. Unfortunately, for those of us who on the Bernie side of the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton has not been arrested. And what would she be arrested for anyway? If it's for the emails, then that means Ivanka has to be arrested too. And the FBI cleared Hillary Clinton. They said what she did was unethical or risky. I think what the term was risky, but not illegal. And also, Ivanka Trump did it too. But of course, Trump defended Ivanka when she did it. But also, I think most of it is simply petty partisan politics. She ran against Daddy Donald Trump. He's a daddy god emperor. How dare Hillary Clinton not ensure that Donald Trump ran for president unopposed? They also claimed that the storm in which all of Donald Trump's enemies, including all the pedophiles, all the deep state, blah 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 blah, and presumably the entire Democratic Party, would be arrested and exposed and executed on November 3rd, 2017. Nothing happened. I'm going to list a bunch of predictions with and some of them include specific dates. Obviously, go with the assumption that nothing happened on those specific dates. They also claimed that a major event involving the Department of Justice, I presume, I think it was they claimed, because I remember this, they claimed uh, that a major report was going to come out on February 1st, 2018. They claimed that some of the people who were criticized by Donald Trump or investigated by Donald Trump would commit mass suicide on February 10th, 2018. There's a lot of things going on with 2018. Um, no prominent people committed suicide that day. There would be a car bombing in London on February 16th, 2018. For what exactly? And by who? And against whom? They claimed, of course, with Hillary, back to Hillary, a smoking gun of Hillary Clinton would emerge in 2018. No. They claimed that a major event would happen in Chongqing, China, and I apologize if I mispronounced that city wrong. I'm not Chinese. On April 10th, 2018, nothing happened. There would be a bombshell revelation about North Korea in May of 2018. And so far, nothing happened except he went over there, Trump went over there to North Korea. Kim Jong Un played him like a fiddle by played to his ego like a fiddle while complimenting him. Therefore, we fell in love, in which Trump lifted sanctions and they continued building weapons. It's like the Iran deal, but we don't get anything else. We don't get anything. The storm, another storm, would take place on January 20th, 2021, and Joe Biden would be arrested, and Donald Trump would be sworn in for a second term, which obviously didn't happen. I should know. I got in trouble for this because at my previous job, I was yelled at for watching the inauguration on my phone. okay, so Trump had talked to, because Trump law is a wannabe dictator, he had planned on having a um, Veterans Day parade, military parade, on November 10th, 2018, and they claimed it would never be forgotten. Turns out it was canceled because one, the logistics, two, the tanks that he wanted would crush the roads, and second of all, he thought this is North Korea bullshit. Yeah, they claimed that a certain organization, intelligence alliance, compromising of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and the United States, which is called the Five Eyes, wouldn't last long. It's still going on to this day. I have mixed feelings about this particular coalition, but just going to leave it at that. Let's just say I think the world would be better without it. They claim that John McCain would resign because he opposed him on repealing Obamacare. He died a senator. Now, I'm surprised they didn't claim that Trump had him assassinated because he was part of the deep state. But, whatever. They claimed that multiple times that Mark Zuckerberg would leave Facebook and flee the U.S. That alien asshole is still the CEO, having me blocked for a month for the most benign of things, like calling someone a heartless prick. And I even made a Hitler joke, a Hitler time travel joke. Like, I swear, if another time traveler tries to assassinate me, I swear I'm going to lose my shit. I'm just a pizza. Adolf Hitler, 1914. A joke got me suspended for a month. And calling somebody a heartless prick. Even though I've been called a fucktard, nothing happened. They also claimed in conjunction. So, yes, so Jack Dorsey of Twitter has stepped down, but they claim that it would be connected with Zuckerberg being forced to resign, that next would be Dorsey of Twitter. So they were saying that first Mark Zuckerberg would resign and flee the United States, and then Jack Dorsey of Twitter would resign. But that didn't happen, and he didn't. He voluntarily stepped down in November last year. I mean, last month. Yeah, by an idiot who they replaced by an idiot who says that he's not very much in favor of free speech. Yeah. They claim that His Holiness Pope Francis would be arrested on felony charges. He's still the Pope. He's still living in the Vatican State. And also, who would arrest him? Like, here's the thing. It's one thing if you say, like, this senator of the United States or that senator of the United States or even, like, this Italian guy or this French guy would be arrested. Who's going to arrest the fucking Pope? Say what you will about how he runs the Catholic Church or his beliefs, or the statements he's made. He is the Pope of the dadgum Vatican, a sovereign nation. It's a city state, but it's a sovereign city. He is basically the president, or he's the leader. I mean, it's a theocracy, but like, who's going to arrest him? To arrest him, you would have to invade the Vatican City, or wait till he leaves the Vatican and then arrest him. I don't know. And on what charges exactly? They claim that Donald Trump will be sworn in on the 20th, after the big storm. They claim that, and I actually covered this. They claim that Donald Trump will be inaugurated on March 4th, 2021, as the 19th president. Now, what I got wrong was I thought that they thought that because the 14th Amendment was passed, um, which basically on paper gave black people civil rights, it turned America into a corporation. Turns out it was the District of Columbia Organic Act of 1871, which sort of like redid the District of Columbia. It just changed some of the things a little bit, and it turned it into a corporation. And that Donald Trump would be succeeding USCS Grant as the true president of the United States. Um, Now, March 4th was the date before the 20th Amendment, in which presidents were inaugurated from Washington to FDR being the last one to be inaugurated on March 4th. But yeah, it's all bullshit, and I covered it. And they also, backpedaled and stated that on March 20th, the same month that he would be reinaugurated, obviously didn't happen. Um, After that failed, they said that the reinauguration date would be August 13th. The day of um, Mike Lindell's Cyber Symposium, if you can call it that. More like PowerPoint that any 13-year-old could make symposium. I could make that because he just put numbers on a screen. It's like no source, nothing. They also claim that John F. Kennedy, well, John F. Kennedy, the president of the United States for the first 2 years of the '60s, first three basically, and his son JFK Jr. would return. That they had faked their deaths on March 2nd, 1960. 2021, at the exact place where Kennedy was murdered. Now, here's the thing. Let's say it's sort of like Bubba Hotep, the movie. Um, JFK is still alive, faked his death. Why would you, or even JFK Jr. is still alive? Why would you want to go? Why would you want to reveal yourself in a place that is nothing but pain to you? Like, there's no denying. Like, even if you actually believe that JFK himself is still alive, there's no denying by the Zapruder film that JFK did receive a gunshot to the head. Even if you're stupid enough to believe he survived, a gunshot to the head, because there's a big difference between, like, I understand that, like, I remember Egypt Air Flight 648, uh during the executions, the hijackers shot five people with gunshots to the back of the head. Three survived. I understand that, but there's a big difference between a defective revolver that most likely, like, grazed the skulls and a bullet from a rifle. You're not surviving that. Anyway, going off on a tangent. And JFK Jr. Why would you reappear in a place that's nothing but that evokes nothing but tragedy? Yeah. They're dead. They're dead as a doornail. They also claimed that the CIA installed North Korean leader Kim Jong Un as a puppet ruler for what? They claimed in 2018. They claimed that Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who is a disgusting woman for her conduct in the 2016 election, hired MS-13 to murder DNC staffer Seth Rich. Oh boy. In 2018, they claimed that now former German Chancellor Angela Merkel is Adolf Hitler's granddaughter. Yeah, it's kind of hard to be someone's granddaughter when the grandparent you're speaking of had no children. That's like claiming, I'm the direct descendant of George Washington. He didn't have children of his own. A Daily Beast article noted that QAnon claimed that every mass shooting is a false flag attack organized by the cabal. I have a response to people who say that this shooting or that shooting, especially Sandy Hook, is a false flag in order to take away your guns. I don't know if that's linked to QAnon, but here's what happened. It's not, and I'm not just saying it just because it sounds crazy, but also I have a reason why the government is never going to take away your guns. First of all, we have a Second Amendment that, and amendments are very, very, very hard to overturn. It takes like a constitutional convention. Yeah, and here's the thing. Also, even if there wasn't a Second Amendment, we have this. Unfortunately, we have this thing called money in politics, in which corporations and rich people can influence politicians. The NRA and other gun manufacturers pay off politicians on both parties to not do a jack shit about guns. You know when was the last time we ever did anything about guns? I don't recall. I think the last time we banned bump stocks, but that didn't do much. We had a 10-year federal assault weapons ban, which should have been permanent back in the 90s. But unfortunately, because Bill Clinton is such a conservative, he allowed it to expire in 2004. I guess he assumed that the Electoral College wouldn't get in the way, and President Al Gore would have continued the assault weapons ban. What happens when you allow acts to expire? Like, what's the point of having that ban if you're just going to let it expire? But point is, money in politics, they're being bribed to not do anything about guns. 6 people die from vaping, and now the age limit is raised to 21. So many people have died from since Columbine. Nothing's been done about guns. Not anti-gun. I just think we need to do more than just simply, oh, you show your ID, therefore that's all you need for a gun. They claim that Obama, Hillary, and George Soros, of course, because God's and others are planning to go against Donald Trump and are involved in, as part of QAnon, the QAnon theory, international child sex trafficking ring. Of course. They actually claim that Trump and Mueller were actually working together for some stupid reason. They claim that the investigation is actually a counter coup by Trump, who pretended to conspire with Russia in order to hire Mueller to secretly investigate the Democrats. If you want that, just hire him to investigate the Democrats. You don't have to put on this whole theater. They also claim that the Rothschild family it leads to satanic cult. And of course, Jews, because they're Jews, therefore I think they're Ashkenazi Jews, because Jews are satanic. Uh, uh, these people, they're so damn stupid, and I have one of them as a coworker. It, this country is falling apart, and I think what happened is we have a broken healthcare system. We have a capitalist healthcare system, and some of these people they can't afford a therapist, and they can't afford the medication that would keep them within reality. So at one point, I do hate them for their stupid beliefs. And okay, I hate the ones who are sane, but they perpetuate this shit anyway for either grift or to just feel important. But I have sympathy for those who genuinely believe this crap because they've got a couple screws loose. Now, I'm not to say that I'm the bastion or whatever the phrase is, the pillar mental health, but I don't see conspiracy theories everywhere. I don't, and when I make a prediction, and I've made some right, some wrong, but when I am proven wrong, I don't double down. It's like, oh no, 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 it's gonna happen. It's just at a later date. Like I predicted Bernie Sanders would become president of the United States. Obviously, it's never gonna happen. And I'm not saying, oh, Bernie Sanders, he's gonna run, he's gonna primary Biden in 2024. No, we need these people. Also, they're also sort of desperate. They want, they have a lot of problems in this world. And unlike in Europe, Canada, South Korea, and Japan, and other developed countries, the problems aren't being fixed. Americans are being left to starve and fend for themselves, while other countries like Germany, Ireland, Switzerland, and Sweden, they actually do something to help. Those countries that I mentioned, they use their tax dollars instead of bombing innocent people in a country thousands of miles away. They use their tax dollars to invest in a social safety net. Now, whether you call that socialism or just simply democratic capitalism, as I might call it, or social democracy. Regardless, because that's another thing. I do have a criticism for Bernie. It's like labeling. I don't actually think what he views as socialism is socialism, or even democratic socialism. But anyway, because basically all the government does is well, like Well, we secure the border, and until you're 65, you're on your own. Then they start taking care of you when you're 65, and even then, like Medicare doesn't cover dental, hearing, and eyeglasses as Bernie's Medicare or even Medicare expansion would cover. But like until you're 65, you're screwed. Screwed. This country doesn't give a damn about you unless you're rich. And so because of that, they reach out. They want meaning in their life. They want somebody to blame. So they come up with this deep state, and some of it is based on bigotry because because they hate the Democrats because they I'll give Democrats this. I hate the Democratic Party, but they are better on social issues. A lot of these older people, they don't like gays. They don't like that gays are being accepted. They don't like that black people are being accepted. They don't like trans people are being accepted. They don't like the fact that their childhood is no more. Or even the way the world was when they were children is no more. They don't like it that they're not on top of it anymore. That they can't abuse people and get away with it. Or they can't abuse people and get away with it like they saw their parents do. Some of them want power, some of them want answers, some of them just want to live a normal life. And this US government is responsible for QAnon. Not directly. Like they didn't like plant these seeds in people's heads and say, okay, go say these bullshit conspiracy theories. But by failing to deal with America's problems, with populist by not implementing the second Bill of Rights that President Roosevelt spoke of in his 1944 State of the Union address, the U.S. government brought this on themselves. Now, QAnon is not to be. It doesn't mean that they get a pass. It just means that there's an underlying factor in why people believe in things like QAnon, and there are certain policies that can help with people. Mostly Medicare for all system, taxpayer, and it's not free. It's taxpayer funded. So instead of my money that I pay as a taxpayer going off to bomb Iraq or Syria or Somalia or wherever, although I have noticed that Joe Biden has basically almost ended the drug war. I mean, the drone war. The drone war. I wish he would end the drug war, but you get the idea. Instead of my money, my taxpayers' dollars going towards war, if our tax dollars went towards mental health, healthcare, this country would see a dramatic improvement. Because not only would people be saving more money by not having to pay all those co-pays, deductibles, and premiums, they would both first they have more money in their pocket. Second, they would be able to afford health care, both mental and medical. They would lead more productive lives. The only people that would lose in this Medicare for all system is the rich people in the private healthcare industry and the pharmaceutical industries. They would lose profit, but they wouldn't lose their livelihood. I bet you they would still make money, just less money. And maybe the politicians would make less money because they wouldn't have any donations from these people. But the point is, America is to blame for QAnon, for their failure to act on the people's woes for the last 40 years. America is a dying empire, and I don't know if it can be saved. I want it to, but I don't know if it will. Oh, I'm gonna go. I hope y'all had a good Christmas. I didn't, but stuck in half an hour on the freeway with a dead engine. Stay awesome, stay progressive, and may the force